Welcome back. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on 13 Plus. Of course, we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, all the time now. Maybe you're experimenting with it at your workplace, maybe at home for, fun things, serious topics. It's really just very ever present in society right now, and that includes in the sphere of higher education. I'm joined here in studio by Dr. Matthew Loverin. He is Provost and Chief Academic Officer at Grace Christian University right here in our area. Dr. Loverin, thanks so much for being here. And we're talking about AI because you are going to be a part of this large national council kind of figuring out piece by piece how AI is going to fit into the higher education world, what that's going to look like, what the regulations are going to be, and then also kind of pioneering that right here in our community. So let's first talk about this council. You were appointed to the Center for Digital Education's inaugural Higher Education AI Council, quite a title there. Tell us a little bit more about that and what that looks like.
Yeah, that council is a national council made up of 70 plus universities, big name universities like Florida State, Cal State, Grand Valley State University. Yeah. And so as Grace Christian University, we're really happy to be representing a faith-based perspective on that council. And that council will be working really to look at how AI affects student success, how it affects research, how it affects ethics as universities try to keep abreast of what AI is doing in higher ed, yeah. Yeah,
and we're in such an interesting time right now because I know even in the journalism world, in so many different industries and fields, it's so new, and it's growing so rapidly that so many of us are trying to figure out, okay, how does this fit in what we've been doing for so long? What are we okay with? What are we not okay with? I know this is very new, your appointment to this council. What are you thinking some of the topics of conversation will sort of be in kind of drafting this outline for schools?
Yeah, the council plans to meet 3 times in the coming year with an in-person conference later in 2026. And so they'll be focused on everything from responsible implementation of AI in student learning in the classroom, how that affects college students and professors, to how do we support students, how do we plan education infused with AI. Students might have AI tutors built in the future.
Yeah.
How that affects university policies and really how university administrations and boards are trying to implement the best practices for this emerging technology.
Yeah, it's really, it's not brand new. AI has actually been around for quite a while, but it's really, taken on this new light, if you will, of just how frequent and often we're all using it in our everyday lives, including at schools, including at the workplace. What would you say, you personally, I guess, are most excited for in kind of taking on this new role?
Well, I'm really excited to bring this home to our university.
Yeah.
We're excited to see what can really our biblical perspective on Christian higher education bring to the use of this technology, what that means for our students, and trying to stay as current as possible. AI is everywhere. Students are being taught to use it in high school and middle school. And so the students that are coming to us are going to be already swimming in that water of AI. And so we need to be prepared to serve them as best we can.
Yeah, so it's neat that you will be, sort of collaborating on this national level, but then able to pull this in because you guys are forming your own AI guidance council at Grace Christian. As far as, I'm sure you'll bring so much of that knowledge back. What would you say you're most motivated to, bring to our community specifically?
Again, really, we're excited to be a leader and serve on this national council and get kind of the cutting edge of whatever these, top tier universities are doing at our own unique faith-based perspective. Sure. And then bring that to our students. We're just excited to graduate more Courageous Ambassadors for Christ as a local higher ed university committed to faith-based education. So I think the exciting thing is to see how can this work in a small Christian college, a small university setting in a way that's really unique but maintains the best of what we have to offer in terms of an environment where students can grow in their faith and in their capacity to serve, and then also to really experience transformational relationships with their faculty members, with their professors in the classroom, where that can still happen in a world where AI is so dominant.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see what pieces from this national council, larger schools might use versus smaller schools versus, public universities, more faith-based schools. I think it'll be really interesting to see what people are taking away, to accommodate different groups of students. Okay, and so moving forward, this is really just getting started. It's very fresh as far as joining the National Council and then kind of bringing this back here to Michigan. What are sort of next immediate steps that you're aware of?
Certainly. We're at the very front edge of this, and so we're excited. I think we're ahead of the game just to be meeting on purpose, getting students, faculty, staff, board members, alumni, as many people as we can involved and their voice at the table, so that the whole university can be committed to a unified approach rather than saying, oh, well, students shouldn't use ChatGPT to write their papers. That's kind of a very low level, like very small approach. We want to take a university-wide approach where everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
So we'll be meeting 3 times throughout the coming year, kind of paralleling that national council, and then we'll be able to recommend some concrete policies for our university going forward. We really think that this whole institutional approach that takes a lot of voices into account is really the best way to move forward holistically as an institution of higher ed, so that we don't get our wires crossed and we're not working cross purposes throughout the university.
Especially in a world of technology that is moving so quickly and advancing so rapidly, to be able to have a basis for, okay, this is how we're going to handle this here at our school, I think is great. So thank you so much for coming in to talk about this. I'm excited to see where this goes for you guys at the school, for the other schools involved across the country, and it'll be interesting to see having such a broad group of higher educators like yourself, see what you guys come up with as far as bringing this back to the classroom. So great, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
We have to be ready. Thank you so much for having me.
I agree. Awesome. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's an event happening this weekend, all to support research surrounding Crohn's disease. We're going to talk with a father and son duo who are hosting an event right here in our community to support that work. We'll be right back.